Shalom, truth seekers. I just wanted to do a quick video. If you're on the fence this year and trying to make a decision about the Creator's set times, I want to give you some food for thought. It just burns in my spirit, and I haven't had the proper time, but I just feel such an urgency to put this out there for whoever may be on the fence thinking about this. But I'd like to encourage you. Genesis 1:14 tells us that these lights in the heavens were given to us for signs, for seasons, for days, and for years. And the word seasons is moed, and it's the holy appointed times of the Creator. It's His set times. And I just want to encourage you to cling to that, and to be cautious of anyone who would try to say it's wickedness to try and understand the Creator's times by looking at these luminaries. When they say that, it is a direct contradiction to Genesis 1:14, and I just find that very concerning. But I want to point out to you, there's another yellow flag that I see, and when I hear words used to define doctrines of men that do not appear in the Scriptures. For example, legalism is a whole doctrine of men that tries to, change times and laws. It tries to do away with the instructions of the Almighty. It's trying to change the definition of sin, and but the thing is, the word legalism does not appear in the Scriptures. So when I see doctrines of men that are founded upon words that don't appear in the Scriptures, that's an immediate tip-off to me that there needs to be some diligent study here, and be cautious. Another one of these words, for example, is Trinity. That's another deep one to, you won't see the word Trinity in the Scriptures. So what is the actual truth behind, there's this doctrine of men, but what's the truth? So on the topic of the Creator's times, similarly, you have the word calendar. And calendar is a word that you will not see in the Scriptures. And what I have seen is men have a tendency to develop these grids that in some cases just run independent of the witness of the heavenly luminaries. And instead of watching for the signs of the heavenly luminaries, they're just depending on these grids, and they're counting, and they're not watching for the signs, and they fall out of sync with the witness of the heavenly luminaries. And they all have, every single calendar has a different way to try and stay in sync with the seasons. They are all trying to stay in sync with the season, whether you're a lunar calendar or a solar calendar or a combination of both of those. They come up with these rules. They're adding to and taking away. They come up with logical reasons and rules for why we're going to help the luminaries, and we're going to kind of adjust the calendar, by these rules. But the thing is, when you read Genesis 1:14, it didn't say, "I give you these lights in the heavens, and I also give you the Abib barley harvest. Go look for that." It didn't say that. Likewise, it didn't say, "I give you these lights, and by the way, here is a set of rules that you need to consider every so often when you come to a leap year, or you had the 13th month in the lunar Sabbath, or in the Zadok or the solar calendar, so-called. You need to try and you're leapfrogging around trying to match up with the creation cycle, for the fourth day of creation, and then you count 3, 4, 5, 6, and you get to Sabbath. All of these rules, I don't see mention of that in Genesis 1:14. I see that the luminaries were told to be the timepieces that are going to dictate time for us, and they dictate time perfectly, like the hands of a clock. When they strike noon, that's time. And so I just want to encourage you, beware these calendars. There are those who try to they're calling evil good and good evil. They're calling the understanding the position of the heavenly luminaries to dictate the times of the creators. They're calling it evil. Woe to those who call good evil and evil good. Okay, that's a warning to you, and I loving warning. Let's have iron sharpening iron, but I'm very concerned when I hear people say that, because it flies in the face of Genesis 1:14. And I've seen people speak out of both sides of their mouth on that. I mean, like I said, even though they'll say it's wickedness, they are doing everything in their power to stay in sync with this natural seasonal cycle, and they've invented all these laws and rules and stuff, and there's and so I just want to encourage you, like, beware of the doctrines of men, even as logical or convenient as they may sound, and cling to the pure and simple truths. Genesis 1:14 said that the lights in the heavens were given for signs, for seasons, for days, and for years. And so cling to that, and this upcoming, there's not much time. I really don't know what all the different calendars are doing this year. Maybe some of them have even already started. I don't know if the lunar one was early this year, or maybe if those doing the Zadok calendars are going to intercalate a week earlier, or however they do it. But time is running out. I don't have enough, unfortunately. None of us do, I'm sure. But I just wanted to, for whatever it's worth, try and put this out there to encourage you to cling to that and to look into it. There's a lot more to talk about, but look for the Creator's times to be dictated by the exact signs of the heavenly luminaries, and not be careful for calendar systems that are detached from the times that are the exact times that are declared by these heavenly luminaries. Like, does your year have 4 seasons? Or does it have three and 99% of, like, just shy of 4? Or maybe it has 5 seasons in it, like 4 plus a little extra, because you're leapfrogging on either side of the spring. He said we're supposed to start the year in the spring. This will be the first month of the year for you, especially those who think the calendar is solar. You got to realize that the solar calendar, it fits like the solar year, the solar seasons, and the solar months all fit right on top of the other, like fingers in the hands of a glove. And so, the first day of the year is the first day of the season. The spring is the first day of the solar month, and it's so. That. I just for whatever it's worth, just wanted to share that. Don't intercalate. Intercalate is just yet another. It's man. It's not the Creator. The timepieces don't need help. They don't need these extra rules that men have tried to come up with and calculate and justify. Look for the signs to create to dictate the Creator's times. And they're coming up this year, so be on the lookout look into this. Look for people who are studying the position of the sun with sundials and the moon and the stars, and trying to understand the Creator's times because you can't even rely necessarily on modern science. I think it's important for you to dive in and start to learn a little bit about how these luminaries are actually moving, because you just never know who you can trust these days as far as modern science or the information that's put out there. So I encourage you to please reach out to me if you have any questions, or be on the lookout for people out there with sundials in the next week or two, and look to start the year cycle with the confirmation of the signs of the heavenly luminaries per Genesis 1:14. So I guess that's it for now. Shalom, and may Abba bless you as you continually seek out His truth in love with a pure heart.